This feels great. My balls are freshening up the room like a car freshener on the rear view mirror.
My dick's out and I don't care.
This isn't a 17-minute video, and I'll give anyone who enters my room some dot damage from the stench of pure lavender cleanliness. Speaking of dot damage, by the way, you know, it's funny, this has actually been in the game since 1.0. I don't know, it's just kind of funny seeing that people are surprised by this, I guess. But it really adds weight to some of my critiques that I made in a video about Spectro Rover and Elements. Totally not a subtle nudge to see that video, by the way. But anyways, we're talking about it again because it's back in the spotlight thanks to our totally good and not at all corrupted girl, Phoebes. The angle is different though, so 4 of 6 of them are essentially damage over time negative statuses, and that's cool, but also kinda one-dimensionally boring on paper. When you read it, they sound very similar to each other. Obviously, functionally it will be different, but I mean, we have essentially 4 variations on damage over time. I do wish that Arrow or Havoc specifically got something a little different, since to me it doesn't fit, I guess. I definitely think Havoc should have some kind of true damage thing to it, but I digress. It sounds like I'm shitting on it, but where it sounds boring and one-dimensional on paper, it can actually be stupidly deadly in practice. This is because if Kuro allows us to stack damage over time effects on enemies, passive damage will really stack up and it will help mitigate the times where you're essentially dodging for your life. It's damage upkeep, and that can be really good for highly aggressive enemies or bosses that have a long or a lot of enraged states. The main thing though is that while this is seemingly disappointing or lame to some people, it's the integration's first step. Well, I mean, I guess second step because of Spectro Rover, but this falls in line with expectations since, again, this has been in the game since 1.0, so maybe it'd be a bit too much to be expecting that we get an entirely new thing when the current one isn't fleshed out yet.